Hollywood and TV have created an autistic stereotype. Autistic people are almost always known to be awkward, white, male geniuses. We have Ray Babbitt from the movie Rain Man, Dr. Sean Murphy in The Good Doctor, Sam Gardner in Atypical, and Sherlock Holmes in BBC's Sherlock. And these white male geniuses create a harmful stereotype. Autism is not gender or racially specific. Those with autism are diagnosed on a spectrum, which means there is a scale of autistic characteristics. An individual fits somewhere within that scale. There are a series of levels in the ASD rainbow, and doctors need to figure out where people with autism are on that rainbow. Autism is a neurodevelopment disorder with social communication challenges and restricted and repetitive behaviors. The communication challenges are verbal and nonverbal. People with autism may have difficulties with speaking, understanding gestures, eye contact, facial expressions, tone of voice, and literal expressions. They may also have difficulty recognizing emotions in themselves and others, feeling overwhelmed, taking turns, gauging personal space, and have difficulty making friends. The restricted and repetitive behaviors people with ASD may display include repeating body movements or objects, staring at lights, ritualistic behavior such as lining up objects, and having a narrow area of interest. Ray Babbitt, Dr. Sean Murphy, Sherlock Holmes, and Sam Gardner represent only 10% of people on the autistic spectrum, leaving 90% of people unrepresented. The media's representation is too narrow and does not show reality. It sets high standards for people with autism as it models the minority, and most people on the ASD spectrum will never reach those standards. It also shows the majority of people with autistic stories aren't worth telling, leaving them out. The media needs to help educate the general public and focus more on common areas of the spectrum. We need to see the full breadth of experience of those with autism, not just one small segment. People with autism who are highly challenged and struggle every day are at risk of invisibility if the media doesn't expand its portrayal. There has been an aversion from the media to show the full reality of autism, until now. We're starting to see improved representation of autism in the media with Pixar's short movie Loop and Sesame Street's creation of Julia, which is reinforced by the See Amazing in All Children website. Characters are more nuanced and diverse compared to usual stereotypes. In the movie Loop, an autistic girl of color is nonverbal and goes on a boat ride around a lake with a young boy. The movie shows the miscommunication between the two, mixes ableism and disability, and shows how we can all connect with each other in spite of our differences. Connections with others is difficult for people with ASD, but it is possible. I've chosen Sesame Street's Julia and their website, See Amazing in All Children, to see how they portray autism. The show's producers wanted to fight the autism stereotype and chose a female character. The writers also did their research as they consulted with a wide range of ASD experts, including psychologists, autistic community members, schools, parents, and people with autism. Characters in the show explain to others who don't understand her behavior, this is what autism is like for Julia. This acknowledges that autism can look different for everyone, but this is what it looks like for Julia. She can speak, but is slow to respond to others. Her voice is flat, without intonation. She echoes others' words. She doesn't speak in full sentences, but with single words. She doesn't respond to social cues. She loves to sing. She likes painting and drawing. She always carries her favorite toy with her and has sensory issues with loud noises and music. She also flaps her hands repeatedly when she is excited. Julia falls within the middle area of the ASD spectrum and shares characteristics that are common with many people with autism. Children with autism will feel validated and see a reflection of themselves in Julia on the TV. The show teaches children about Julia's autism, how to accept her differences, and how to accommodate to her needs. Julia's friends want to include her in their activities and use problem-solving skills to modify games and activities to make sure she can participate. For example, Julia doesn't like to get a haircut and becomes anxious when talking about it. The Sesame Street team take photos of themselves at the hairdresser and show her. They also role-play a visit to the salon. Julia sees and understands the routine of what happens at the hairdresser's and agrees to go. She then shares photos taken with her at the hairdresser's and shares with the audience. This is an example of functional behavior assessment, as the Sesame Street team are trying to teach Julia the way to respond in an environment she finds challenging with appropriate behavior. The learning technique is helping Julia to develop social skills by understanding what happens at the salon. By taking photos and role-playing, having a haircut has been chunked down into social story, making it easier for her to learn. Please watch this condensed Sesame Street clip about the hairdresser.
Abby just got her first haircut. Maybe you need to get a haircut, Julia, huh? No. Oh, Elmo thinks that's a no.
Sometimes a haircut can be a little upsetting for someone with autism. Isn't that right, Julia?
Right.
Oh, I know. We can set up a pretend hair salon outside. I will let you know what to expect every step of the way, okay? Now, Julia, in a hair salon, there are special chairs that you sit in. We're gonna go up and down. The hairdresser uses a comb and a special kind of scissors. Cut, cut, cut. Cut. Yeah, all right, there we go. All done. But now that you know what to expect, maybe we can go to a real hair salon for a real haircut, okay?
Okay.
Great.
Play hair salon.
The Sesame Street website, See Amazing in All Children, focuses on autism. The website has short videos, interactive books, and many resources. There are videos of Julia and her friends, as well as stories of real children with their families. These videos show autistic situations parents face and ways they overcome everyday challenges. Children are shown having meltdowns and are described as being potential friends. I believe this is a huge step in helping children with autism become accepted and included in society. The website also has daily routine cards, tip sheets for children who want to play with children with autism, and Benny's Story, which is an interactive book. The website reinforces what the show is teaching and puts it in terms for children and adults to understand. Julia and the See Amazing in All Children website has huge implications for teachers. It teaches children not to be afraid of those with autism and to be inclusive, kind, and patient. Children are shown how to help their peers socially. They can make adaptations to games and situations and allow peers to participate. This helps students become accepted for who they are. The use of photos, social stories, and role-playing helps students to overcome stressful situations. Watching the videos of parents discussing their child's issues will help teachers understand ASD more fully and understand how family dynamics can work in the home. Some videos show non-verbal children communicating using American Sign Language and others using tablets to make their needs and questions met. The real-life case studies will also give teachers ideas they can use in the classroom. The stereotype of autism is removed with Sesame Street's approach. They show Julia as any other student who loves her family, friends, and wants to belong. Although Sesame Street has tried to include as much diversity and realism as they can, have they missed anything out? What other exceptionalities could Sesame Street help to debunk? When autistic children have their needs met and modifications in place, they can easily be included and accepted into the classroom. Please check out Sesame Street's autism website. Here are the sources that I've used for this movie, and here are where the photos have come from to make this movie. Thank you.